You know, sometimes the simplest things in life can make the biggest difference. Imagine if I told you that a tiny 10-second trick, something you can do right now, wherever you're sitting, could actually help lower your risk of stroke. Sounds unbelievable, right? But this isn't a random internet hack or some viral trend. It comes straight from one of Japan's oldest and most respected doctors, a man who's dedicated his entire life to studying longevity, brain health, and the subtle signs our body gives before serious problems strike. The tongue is one of the most overlooked indicators of our health, yet it holds a wealth of information about what's happening inside the body. According to Japan's oldest practicing doctor, the tongue is more than just a tool for speaking or tasting, it's a reflection of the brain's circulation and overall vitality. When the brain's blood flow begins to decline with age, the tongue often shows the earliest signs. It might feel heavier, less flexible, or even appear drier than usual. These subtle changes are the body's quiet warnings, long before more serious conditions like stroke appear. In traditional Japanese medicine, doctors observe the tongue every day as part of a routine check-up. They study its color, texture, and coating, because they believe that the tongue mirrors the condition of the internal organs, particularly the heart and brain. A healthy tongue should be moist, soft, and move freely, while one that is pale, stiff, or coated may suggest poor blood circulation or a lack of oxygen supply to the brain. What's fascinating is that modern neurology now supports this connection. The tongue is closely linked to several nerves that directly connect to the brainstem, and these nerves influence vital processes like swallowing, speech, and even heart rhythm. When blood flow to these nerves weakens, the brain receives less oxygen and nutrients, increasing the risk of fatigue, memory loss, and eventually stroke. This is why monitoring the tongue's health becomes so important after the age of 60. The muscles of the tongue, like any other muscles in the body, weaken over time. As they lose tone, chewing and swallowing become more difficult, and the flow of saliva slows down. Saliva is not just for digestion, it carries nitric oxide, a compound that keeps blood vessels flexible and prevents clots from forming. When saliva production drops, blood circulation can suffer, and this may set off a chain reaction that affects brain health. So, by observing and maintaining a healthy tongue, we indirectly maintain healthy blood flow to the brain. In Japan, elderly people are encouraged to perform simple tongue exercises not only to improve speech and swallowing, but also to strengthen their connection between the mouth and the brain. Doctors there often remind their patients that a stiff tongue equals a stiff brain. It's a poetic way of saying that the more flexible and active your tongue is, the more active and alert your brain remains. This insight reshapes how we think about aging. Instead of focusing only on heart health or muscle strength, it reminds us that oral mobility is just as vital to maintaining mental clarity and neurological balance. When your tongue moves freely, it promotes better oxygen delivery, supports neural function, and helps prevent the sluggish blood flow that often precedes a stroke. Observing your tongue every morning and noticing changes in its texture or color can be a powerful habit, one that can reveal hidden imbalances early enough to take action before they turn into something serious. The 10-second tongue exercise shared by Japan's oldest doctor may seem incredibly simple, but its effects on circulation and brain health are surprisingly profound. It involves gently closing your mouth, pressing your tongue against the roof of your mouth, and slowly sliding it back and forth for about 10 seconds. During this short movement, you're activating several tiny but powerful muscles connected to your tongue, jaw, and neck, muscles that play a key role in maintaining blood flow to the brain. As these muscles engage, they help stimulate the arteries and veins that pass through the neck, improving oxygen delivery and supporting the health of blood vessels that feed the brain. Over time, this gentle daily practice helps maintain flexibility in those vessels, which is essential in reducing the risk of blockages and clots that can lead to stroke. What makes this exercise special is that it targets a part of the body we rarely think about in relation to stroke prevention: Most people focus on hard exercises or walking to improve circulation, but the mouth and tongue are deeply connected to the brain's blood supply. When you press your tongue upward and move it along the roof of your mouth, you're not only engaging muscles but also stimulating key neural pathways that send signals to the cardiovascular and nervous systems. This activity improves the function of the hypoglossal nerve, which controls tongue movement, and the vagus nerve, which regulates heart rate, blood pressure, and relaxation. Stimulating these nerves through gentle movement supports better balance between the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems, leading to more stable blood pressure and improved vascular elasticity. It's fascinating that such a tiny motion can have this chain reaction inside the body. By practicing it daily, you encourage your arteries to remain supple rather than stiff, a key factor in preventing stroke. When arteries are flexible, blood can move freely, oxygen reaches brain tissues efficiently, and the chances of a clot forming are greatly reduced. In contrast, when circulation slows or arteries harden with age, even a minor blockage can cause serious consequences. This tongue trick essentially serves as a mini workout for your circulatory system, focusing on the upper part of the body where blood flow to the brain is most crucial. Another important aspect of this exercise is its effect on saliva flow. As the tongue moves rhythmically, it stimulates saliva glands, increasing moisture in the mouth and enhancing the production of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a natural compound that relaxes and widens blood vessels, helping the heart pump blood more efficiently. This chemical plays a vital role in keeping your arteries healthy and clear. With just a few seconds of daily practice, you're giving your body a safe and natural way to boost nitric oxide levels without needing supplements or medications. Consistency is the key to making this small practice powerful. Doing it once might not bring noticeable changes, but repeating it 2 or 3 times a day gradually strengthens tongue muscles, improves coordination, and sustains healthy blood flow. Over weeks and months, this can enhance cognitive sharpness, prevent dizziness, and maintain oxygen balance in the brain. What's remarkable is that this simple movement doesn't require any special tools or environment. It can be done anytime, anywhere, whether sitting at your desk, waiting in line, or relaxing before bed. It's a perfect example of how traditional Japanese wisdom combines practicality with deep physiological understanding. The 10-second tongue exercise is more than just a movement. It's a small act of prevention that keeps the connection between your tongue, nerves, and brain strong, allowing you to age gracefully while protecting yourself from one of the most dangerous yet preventable health risks. When you perform the tongue movement taught by Japan's oldest doctor, you are doing much more than exercising your mouth. You're actually activating 2 of the body's most important nerves, the vagus nerve and the hypoglossal nerve, which together play a major role in regulating the cardiovascular and nervous systems. The hypoglossal nerve controls the movement and strength of the tongue, and when you engage it through the 10-second tongue motion, it stimulates areas of the brainstem responsible for speech, swallowing, and blood flow regulation. The vagus nerve, on the other hand, is known as the calming nerve because it governs heart rate, digestion, and blood pressure. By moving the tongue in a controlled and rhythmic way, you indirectly stimulate the vagus nerve, signaling the body to relax, widen blood vessels, and improve circulation. This simple act of pressing and gliding your tongue along the roof of your mouth creates a neurological chain reaction that encourages better oxygen and nutrient delivery to the brain, helping reduce the chances of blood clots and hypertension that lead to stroke. The connection between these nerves and stroke prevention lies in how they influence blood vessel function. When the vagus nerve is active, it promotes parasympathetic activity, the state where your body repairs, restores, and maintains balance. In this state, blood pressure naturally lowers, inflammation decreases, and arteries become more flexible. The tongue exercise enhances this process by triggering mild muscle tension and release cycles in the jaw and neck, areas that are often tense due to stress or poor posture. This gentle rhythmic activation helps relax the carotid arteries, which are the main pathways carrying oxygen-rich blood to the brain. Improved elasticity in these arteries means smoother blood flow and less strain on the vascular system, both of which are essential for preventing strokes in older adults. Another fascinating aspect of this exercise is its effect on nitric oxide production. Saliva, which increases with tongue movement, contains enzymes that generate nitric oxide, a molecule that acts as a natural vasodilator, meaning it widens blood vessels and enhances circulation. As you perform the 10-second trick, your body begins releasing small bursts of this beneficial gas, creating a chemical response that supports cardiovascular health. Over time, this contributes to better vascular tone, reduced clotting risk, and more stable blood pressure levels. Nitric oxide also helps the inner lining of your arteries, known as the endothelium, remain healthy and responsive, preventing the buildup of plaque that can lead to blockages. Beyond physical effects, stimulating the vagus and hypoglossal nerves through this motion also benefits the brain's communication systems. These nerves carry signals to areas of the brain that influence focus, calmness, and alertness. That's why people who practice this exercise regularly often report feeling clearer and more relaxed afterward. It's not just about stroke prevention. It's about improving overall neurological efficiency and emotional balance. The more these nerves are gently activated, the better your brain-body connection functions, creating a sense of harmony within your system. This link between tongue movement, nerve activation, and vascular health shows how closely interconnected the body truly is. By simply engaging your tongue for 10 seconds, you're influencing powerful internal networks that control circulation, pressure, and stress responses. Over time, this contributes to healthier arteries, a calmer nervous system, and a stronger defense against the conditions that lead to stroke. Dr. Hinohara's philosophy was built on one powerful belief: lasting health and longevity are not achieved through drastic changes or expensive treatments but through small, consistent actions repeated daily. The 10-second tongue exercise is the perfect example of this principle in action. It takes almost no time, requires no equipment, and can be done anywhere, yet its long-term benefits are remarkable. The key is consistency. Doing it once or twice may not feel like much, but making it part of your daily life strengthens the very systems that protect your brain and heart. Each time you perform the movement, you're gently training your body to maintain good circulation, strong tongue and neck muscles, and proper oxygen delivery to the brain. Just as walking for 10 minutes a day can transform cardiovascular health over time, this simple practice can keep the microcirculation of your upper body active, ensuring the brain stays alert and well-nourished. Dr. Hinohara often emphasized that aging well doesn't require extreme effort. He lived by the idea that if something is simple, enjoyable, and sustainable, it is more likely to last a lifetime. This is why he encouraged patients to adopt micro-habits that fit naturally into daily routines. For example, doing the tongue exercise after brushing your teeth, while watching television, or before bedtime makes it easier to remember and maintain. He believed that these small actions worked like quiet maintenance for the body, keeping it tuned and balanced from within. Just like brushing your teeth prevents decay, exercising your tongue helps prevent the internal stiffness that can lead to reduced circulation and increased stroke risk. Over weeks and months, this gentle repetition builds endurance and neurological coordination that the body comes to rely on. This habit also creates a sense of awareness. When you consciously take those few seconds each day to focus on your tongue and breathing, you reconnect with your body. That mindfulness in itself lowers stress, which further helps maintain healthy blood pressure and circulation. What starts as a physical exercise slowly becomes a ritual that supports both mental and physical well-being. Dr. Hinohara used to say that the secret to longevity is not doing more, but doing what matters most consistently. He lived this wisdom by walking every day, eating lightly, staying socially engaged, and practicing small daily health rituals like this one. Another beautiful aspect of this approach is how it aligns with the rhythm of nature. The body responds best to gentle, repetitive actions, movements that don't shock the system but gradually strengthen it. The tongue exercise mirrors this natural rhythm perfectly. It's calm, controlled, and easy to sustain, which is why it fits so well into the lifestyle of longevity experts in Japan. Over time, this daily consistency doesn't just improve tongue mobility or saliva production. It enhances cognitive clarity, supports digestion, and even uplifts mood. The benefits may start small, but they accumulate silently, building resilience from within. What Dr. Hinohara wanted the world to understand was that health isn't built in moments of intensity, but in quiet, consistent care. The Japanese approach to health has always been rooted in harmony, balance, and connection between the mind and body. Instead of treating symptoms as isolated problems, it focuses on the body as one complete system where every organ, nerve, and muscle affects the other. This holistic way of thinking is what makes the 10-second tongue exercise such a powerful part of stroke prevention and overall longevity. In Japan, doctors often remind their patients that prevention begins long before illness appears. The tongue trick fits perfectly within this philosophy because it doesn't just target one issue like poor circulation, it supports multiple systems at once: neurological, cardiovascular, and even digestive. By engaging the muscles of the tongue and throat, the exercise promotes better blood flow to the brain, smoother oxygen delivery, and improved communication between the nervous and circulatory systems. This interconnected benefit is exactly what Japanese wellness traditions have always emphasized: small mindful actions that ripple through the entire body. Alongside this, the Japanese lifestyle naturally supports the effectiveness of such practices. Their diet, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and fermented foods, keeps inflammation low and blood vessels supple. They drink green tea not only for taste but for its ability to enhance blood flow and brain function. When paired with the 10-second tongue trick, these habits create a comprehensive approach to maintaining brain and heart health. Hydration also plays an important role in this system of prevention. The more hydrated you are, the easier it is for blood to circulate smoothly, and the more responsive your arteries become to exercises like this. That's why many Japanese doctors suggest doing the tongue movement after drinking a glass of water in the morning, combining hydration and muscle stimulation into one effortless routine. Another key part of the holistic Japanese approach is movement. It doesn't always mean intense workouts or strict regimens, but simple, consistent physical activity. Walking to the store, doing light stretches, or tending to a garden, all of these keep the body's energy moving. The tongue exercise acts as a similar form of micro-movement for the upper body, especially the head and neck region. It complements these everyday actions by enhancing blood flow to areas that aren't always stimulated by regular exercise. Together, these practices maintain the body's internal balance, keeping both the physical and mental systems sharp. The beauty of this method lies in its accessibility. It doesn't require expensive medicine, gym memberships, or complicated tools. It asks only for awareness and regularity. Japanese doctors see this awareness as a form of respect toward the body, a way of showing gratitude for what it does each day. By incorporating this 10-second tongue movement into daily life, you are aligning with that same philosophy. You're not just preventing stroke, you're practicing mindfulness, self-care, and harmony. You're giving attention to the small details that sustain health over time. The holistic Japanese approach reminds us that true wellness isn't about quick fixes, but about cultivating balance through daily rituals that nourish both body and mind from the inside out.